Collective. Welcome back to the realm of alignment, where we unlock the body's hidden codes. It is the last week of Chakra Land. It's Soul Star Chakra week, week number 8, and we are coming in with full embodiment, coming in hot, okay, representing with the yellows and the golds. And I'm super excited about the next chapter already. But as we're closing out Chakra Land, the Soul Star Chakra is going to nudge you very heavily to step fully into the full embodiment of who you say you are. Okay, so there's no more running, there's no more hiding, there's no more sitting in the comfortable shadow work phase or in the healing journey phase. Now we're moving out of the healing journey and we're stepping into the embodiment. Okay, so I do have some things coming after Chakra Land is complete on Friday, and I'm not sure if I'm going to drop it right away or if I'm going to take a step back and experience some of what I'm going to be teaching first. But I do want you guys to really pay attention to my YouTube page, because when it drops, I'm just gonna drop it. I'm not gonna announce it, okay? So just look out for the information that's coming. And this week we're focusing on the art of embodiment. And like I said, this is a week that each of us are showing up as our highest self through the embodiment, walking in your true identity and utilizing all the tools you've obtained on your healing journey by tapping into your Soul Star Chakra. Okay, so this week we're being very intentional, and even beyond this week, we're just making sure that while we are, stepping into this embodiment, we're taking all the tools and the things that we've learned from Root Chakra Week, Root Chakra Week, Sacral Chakra Week, Solar Plexus Week, Heart Chakra Week, Throat Chakra Week, First Eye Chakra Week, Crown Chakra Week, and we're taking all those tools and putting that fully into this part of our journey. So that's what embodiment is. It's showing up in the space where you are fully aware of who you are, what you were called here to do, and the schedules that you've created for yourself, the but the visualizations that you've had for who you see yourself to be. All of those things are now what you're going to be putting into practice, like actual practice. You're going to physically walk in that energy. Okay, so the Soul Star Chakra asks you to embody your true identity. This is the gateway chakra, is what I like to call it. This gateway opens up when you activate this chakra through full embodiment of your true identity. Enlightenment happens naturally after surrendering to God and allowing yourself to be full spectrum, light body. This point is full remembrance of your soul's purpose. Okay, and the rune that will support you is called Manaz. This rune represents humanity, mankind, and the self. Manaz helps anchor your cosmic potential into your daily human reality. Okay? Now, as we're jumping into our Moonday questions, let's just run through them so that you have, the time, like I always say, to sit with yourself and, answer the questions and not have to spend so much time watching the video. As Soul Star Chakra is the planet of Uranus. Just wanted to put that out there. First question is, what higher timeline are you being pulled towards? So identifying your higher timeline is obviously necessary because you need to know where you're going. You need to have direction. You need to be very clear on where you're moving away from and into. So just grab your journals, grab a pen so that you can write this down after you write this question down. Really sit with this question and ask yourself, what timeline, like what does your higher timeline look like? What are you being pulled towards? I'm gonna sit with these questions myself, because these are questions that come from, I didn't take this from my Quantum Ascension workbook. These are questions I think from the last class I did, and I think I need to go back to this to become very clear on where I'm moving towards, you know, to like kind of make sure I'm staying on the path. So sometimes you may find yourself having to come back to the questions, and that's okay. You may need to find your own compass, your own inner compass, by sitting with the questions, the shadow work questions, so that you can go back within yourself instead of seeking the external guidance. Okay, and even though the questions are external, like it helps point you in the direction so that you can be introspective and ask yourself these questions. Question number 2 is, what version of you lives there? You know, identify the version of you that's living in this higher timeline. You know, what does this version of you look like? What does this version of you, you know, desire? What does this version of you, like, what are the goals of this version of you? And this version of you, what does this version of you decide to move towards? What are the plans? What are the environments that you see this version of you in? Okay. Question number 3 is, what habit anchors you to the old timeline? This question is super important, because sometimes we could be so subconsciously sabotaging ourselves that we just don't recognize how we're showing up in our current timeline and blocking ourselves from moving forward into this new timeline that we see for ourselves, because of little habits, little things that we know we need to get rid of and put to the side. That, you know, if it's a habit, sometimes you do it without even being, you know, conscious about it. So if you write it down, it will help you to see and bring to the forefront very clearly, so that you can take full accountability, what it is that you are partaking in that could be slowing your pace down, or slowing your acceleration into this new experience, these new experiences, this new elevation. So it's very important to be honest with yourself when you are talking about your habits, because these are not just habits. These are habits that are anchoring you to your old timeline. And that's why it's not saying bad habits or good habits. It's not identifying the habits as being anything in particular, but habits in general that could be slowing you down from moving forward. And if you're honest with yourself, you can identify that for yourself. And then once you come to the place of recognizing that it's anchoring you to your old timeline, then you may come to the realization that yes, it's bad for you. Last question is, what decision activates the new one? Now, what I mean by the new one is the new timeline. So there's a decision that you'll have to make, okay? And sometimes if you listen to tarot, if you watch tarot, you'll hear a lot of people say when they're pulling cards, like, there's a decision you have to make. And sometimes you'll be like, what decision? This decision is talking about this old habit that's anchoring you to your old timeline, is what it feels like. This decision is the thing that you feel comfortable doing when you're trying to escape an emotion, a thought, a responsibility. Okay? This decision, that habit is going to be something that you do when you're escaping those things. And the decision is going to be to cut that thing off, to release that thing, to let that thing go. The thing that's making you feel like you're not fully in the embodiment of your highest timeline, whatever that thing is. That's the decision you have to make. And once you make that decision, it's that decision that activates your new timeline. So usually that decision that you have to make is going to be the one that you don't even want to like address. You don't even want to hear about it. It's going to be that decision you want to make. to cut it off, to stop doing it, to let it go, to release it, to relinquish whatever bad habits that you have. If you're being honest with yourself, it's going to be the thing that you don't even want to, like, you don't want no one to tell you is not good for you. Okay, it's going to be the thing that you're hoping doesn't come up to the surface. You know, that's that thing that you need to make the decision on releasing, cutting off, moving on from, whatever the case may be, so that you can activate your new timeline, because it's that one thing that's going to activate your new timeline. Some of you might be feeling like you're halfway in and halfway out, and that's because of that one decision you have to make. Okay, now let's move into our Moonday reflection tool, starting with the timeline breath. So the timeline breath, sorry, that paused at 11:11. The timeline breath is, we're going to inhale through our nose for 4, hold for 4, exhale through our mouth for 8. Let's do this together 3 times. You're going to do this by yourself 7 times though. So let's inhale, hold, exhale, inhale, hold, exhale. As you are exhaling, imagine releasing old identity, fears, outdated stories, attachments to who you used to be. Inhale, hold, exhale. Those things you're releasing could look like black smoke, gray smoke, add a color to it, whatever. Inhale, hold, exhale, okay. And as you sit with yourself, with your eyes closed or your gaze lowered, ask yourself, if I trusted my future self completely, what would I release today? And let's just ponder on that for a second. If you trusted your future self completely, what would you release today? To be honest with you, I'd release everything. Honestly, I'd release it all. I think that my future self requires for me to, I want to say stop smoking weed, but I think that it fits my path depending on how I smoke and the intention behind why I smoke, and not just doing it for, you know, recreational drug use purposes. It has to be with intention. Anything that is done for escapism, release that too. And here's a mantra you can take with you. I release who I was to become who I am becoming. And you can say this to yourself or out loud. I release who I was to become who I am becoming. I release old fears and trust my ability to integrate. I release old fears and trust my ability to integrate. All right, beautiful. Okay, Collective, thank you so much for tuning in. Happy Moonday once again. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Tuesday Crown Chakra class. Sorry, Soul Star Chakra class. And honestly, God bless y'all on this journey. This is beautiful. And I love you so much. Don't forget to check the description below for the Quantum Ascension Workbook if you want to take this a little further for more inner work on yourself, inner activation, for whatever chakras that you're working through. If you want to take it into more of a physical thing where you start to get active on, you know, shifting into this timeline, the 90-day Ascension Workbook is the thing that's going to take you there, because this is where you're actually going to create your schedule. You're going to have to get up every day for the 90 days and get active every single day on shifting into your new timeline, into this new energy that you're creating for yourself. So if you're coming to the end of this program, you're ready for the 90-day Ascension Workbook. Maybe if you didn't do Chakra, you might not have been as ready. But if you did this, you're definitely ready, okay? I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.
Aligned, activated, ascended.